Hello, Connections. Today, being a part of a Spark Foundation intern, we are been supposed to do simple tasks regarding the machine learning. So, the first task that they have given us is predicting using the supervised machine learning. So, basically, first we need to know what is basically a supervised learning. So, just a supervised learning is something like using a labeled dataset to train the algorithms and predicting or classifying some particular things correctly. So, here for us, they have been given a scenario where we will be having hours and maybe a student is studying for based upon their study hours, what could be the percentage that a student can get. So for that reason, I have been coded this complete thing. So initially, we need pandas to read the data because it is an CSV file that we have been given from the data URL. I have converted that particular thing from the URL to I have just captured the data using a read CSV function, which is used to read the CSV files in the Python language. So it takes the path of the CSV file where it is, and then it converts the data to the pandas data frame. So I have just converted that and I just printed it out to see what actually the data is present inside the URL. So I could see two things, the hours and the scores. So after knowing your data, it's important which feature to be splitted into what. Because based upon the study hours, we are going to predict what could be the score of the person. So it's important that the X is something like we are going to take two things here, X and Y as a variables, where X will be considering the hours. It can be a person studying how many hours, and Y will be like the predicting value should be the scores. What we are trying to predict is the score. So I just printed the uh, hours. Head is something which gives, if you have a plenty of the data, it will be giving to the 5, or generally it gives 10. So I have specifically mentioned it to be a 5 thing. So it gave me a uh, like hours of 5 and scores of 5. And then I've splitted my data into training and testing, where we will have a model function called train test split function, which requires a x variable, which is the value that to be already there and you want to predict it, and y is the predicting value. So what we are trying to do here is train test. We're converting the data that we have. The test size is 0.2, which indicates that I have splitted my data into 80-20 ratio. That means like 80% of the data I'm giving for the training the model and 20% of the data for testing the model. So after splitting my data into training and testing sets, I need a model to predict it. So I have used the simple linear regression. So after taking the model, you have selected a model and you need to fit values into that. So that thing I did, training the model, and I have just trained the model using the X-train and Y-train, because X-train and Y-train have the 80% of the data that we are going to train a model. So after training it, we have to make the predictions. So for that, we have just trying to do model.predict is a function which takes the parameters called X test, the predicting values, and it is going to predict it based upon the model. Based upon the training that we're given, the model just predicts some value. So after predicting the test data, we are trying to evaluate the model, how accurately the particular thing is being calculated. So y test is something already the values are present, and predictions are something that we are trying to do or basically we did it and we got a few values. So we are trying to find the mean square error. Finding the mean square error is important because it will give you the actual statistics of the data, how correctly is your data points are being plotted or being like uh, just the error, how much difference that you're having. So I have received a mean square error of 18.94. So I'm trying to predict a particular study hours. Like I have got a question: if a person studies for 9.25 hours, what could be the predicted percentage? So I just predicted the hours, the predicted value, hours of predicted value is 9.25, and the predicted percentage will be the same value that we are giving. And I just printed the what's the value that we got. It's 92%. So if a person, oh sorry, it's 9.25. So if the person studies for 9.25 hours, he will be getting 92%. This is all about the production using supervised learning at ML. Thank you.